Here I am in this conversation and she's Mel Robbins being dismissed. Mel Robbins wasn't there, I just want to make that clear. Mel Robbins is being dismissed as she's basic. She takes really complicated ideas and makes them surface level. Let them theory, like really, we're gonna just take years and decades of research and just boil it down to these words and just slap it on a hamburger and just say, oh, let them. And I thought to myself in that, but isn't it wild that someone like Mel is able to translate that super complicated and complex research into digestible components that everyday people not only resonate with, but it actually changes their lives? What's the point of the research if it's not actually being used by everyday people? Simple, though, does not mean shallow. In fact, simple and easy to digest means you're opening up your work to a wider audience and more opportunities. But it's really important to understand that there are two completely different skills. Being able to be fluent in an expertise and in technical languages is very different from being able to do what Mel does so brilliantly, which is taking that language and translating it for the masses, making it legible and open and clear and easy to follow day to day for people who are outside of that echo chamber. Those are two completely different skills, and it's the kind of thing that once you learn that skill, by the way, because it's a skill, we're talking about something that is completely learnable. It's not, oh, some people just have the Mel gene and are able to do this, and most doctors, scientists, researchers have to stay inside academics, have to stay inside of the echo chamber. No, if you're one of those kinds of people, you absolutely have entree to the wider world if you are willing to learn the skill that is translating the high technical fluency that you have and making it simple and clear and legible to people outside of your area of super expertise. If anything, it becomes even more impressive that you're able to toggle between the two. A really great example of this actually is the podcast interview that I did with Dr. Kemi Doll and her book that just recently came out on cervical cancer, because let me tell you something, this woman is a beast researcher. She's a scientist. That's how she's trained. But she's so smart because she knows that she has to take that technical training and translate it for the people with zero technical anything who are everyday Black woman patients with a womb, and make the conversations in academic papers around cervical cancer plain and simple to these women so that I can save their lives. Hello, somebody, okay? When you listen to the conversation in the podcast that I did with Dr. Kemi Doll, it really helps to illuminate this thing that this is a skill. It's a storytelling skill. First of all, exactly what I do with my clients, right? How do we break this down and turn it into stories so people can grasp what you are saying? It's a skill that you can learn and anybody can learn it. I had to learn the skill myself, right? And it's funny because I had to learn it in a way that you really wouldn't expect. Someone with my training in literally storytelling would need to take a pause and learn this stuff. So this is my book. It's called Innards. And when Innards first came out, it came out first in the United States, but I was emphatic. I was like, no ways I'm launching this beautiful lady over here and I don't take her home. This book launched in South Africa in December of 2023. And I have to be honest, before I got on that stage to launch Innards, I was so nervous because, number one, I really wanted this particular audience to resonate with the book. I mean, I wrote this book for Black South Africans, if for nobody else, right? Everybody is welcome to the potluck. Everybody's welcome to the picnic. Everybody's welcome to the block party. But let's tell the truth. We're throwing this block party because I love us, right? That's what this book is about. I felt like oh gosh, am I going to oversimplify in a way where somebody who is in the audience, who is also a really astute reader, writer, might feel I'm taking complex ideas and dumbing them down. I am coming across as very basic. So I had all of those kinds of concerns, worries, fears before I walked on stage. And then once I walked on stage, I realized something super powerful. I was actually afraid of being misrepresented. I was afraid of saying something in trying to translate this complexity that might actually be like mistaken, right? I was also afraid of who I would have to become outside of all of these signifiers of status and of shorthand, like identity markers, which when you're speaking to your peers are some things that you just lean on. Like talking about craft with other writers is very different from talking about a story with people who typically don't pick up a book in Soweto, South Africa. And I was afraid of how I would have to be, who I would have to become in order to do that well. But the trick and the thing that saved me is remembering that the core, the message of what I had to say didn't need to shift because of who was in the audience, and that the complexity would never be lost because I was using a way of conveying it that was simple. If anything, if I could convey it simply, then I had passed a test that was about taking something super nuanced, taking something super complex, the way that Mel Robbins does, and making it actionable for the person who is outside of that echo chamber, who is outside of super deep writing circles. So I learned something. That experience really allowed me, it equipped me with understanding the power of being able to translate something as big and gnarly and like super technical. How do you make it simple, clear for a different audience? And I know for sure, as a writer, one of the things that I feel like has been such a struggle bus, not just in that experience, but also in taking the complexity of a book like this and being able to translate it for social media, right? Where you're expected within 60 seconds to very quickly and snippily be able to say, like, here's what this book is about, here's why you should care about it, and please go out and buy my book. How do you do that? It's a skill, and it's a skill that's learnable. Translating your work for a different audience does not take away from the complexity. It does not erase your credibility. It does not make you any less deep or any less rigorous. If anything, it is an opportunity for you to open up that work to an even bigger audience, and maybe the audience that needs it the most. Now, to borrow from Mel, because she's always quoting some paper from somewhere, the cognitive load theory helps us understand that the human brain, especially a non-technical human brain, it cannot hold on to more than 3 to 4 pieces of new information before the brain is like, look, I'm fried, I'm tired, it's Friday, I'm zoning out, I don't know what this lady is saying. When you know that, and you are translating a piece of information that is super complicated, what I ask my clients to do is focus on just one point that you are driving home, and ask yourself, every single data point that you have, does it drive towards that one core thing? If a piece of data is beyond those 2 to 3 and does not aggressively support that main takeaway, girl, delete it. Like, you don't need it, okay? And you need to understand, people can only hold on to so much new information, and once they get that, once they digest it, then you're making them hungry for even more nuance, going even deeper into the theory of whatever it is that you're talking about. And not for nothing, this is the exact work that I'm so privileged to do with women who have decades of expertise, translating all of that into a way for people outside of their technical world, language, translating it so that they can digest it and actually act on it through invitations that they give. Again, I'm Machochodi. This is Madam Speaker Says. Thank you so much for being here. Let me know in the comments, are you a translator of your work? Or are you the kind of person who's speaking about your work to all of your peers and you're having an amazing nerd party, but you're also thinking to yourself, like, how do I get over there? How do I get over there? How do I make this a little bit more popular? How do I make this a little bit more wide-reaching? Where's the door? Which door do I need to open to make this more accessible to the people who need it the most? Let me know in the comments. And if this has been a very valuable video for you, please consider subscribing because, like, hello, I am here all the time with amazing valuable content and I love serving it to you. So please subscribe. I am Machochodi. This is Madam Speaker Says. I'm excited to see you next time. Bye bye bye.